We're running a little late here. So I will now like to call the City of Apache Junction Council meeting of March 3rd, 2026 to order and ask everyone to put their cell phones on silent. The invocation will be led by Councilman Heck and pledged by Vice Mayor Schroeder.
Got a name there. Got to remember who you were.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege and freedom we have of being able to gather together this evening to discuss city business. We ask that you give the staff and council wisdom and clarity in their decision-making. Keep us mindful that we serve the residents of this city. We ask you to watch over the men and women who serve in our military the world over. Keep them safe in these very troubling and turbulent times. We ask also for your blessing on our first responders, including our police and fire departments, our EMS personnel, along with our park rangers. Please keep these brave men and women safe in their duties to protect and care for the residents of this city. And thank you for the honor that we have and privilege that we have to be able to serve the residents of this great city. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Wilson,
Here.
Vice Mayor Schroeder,
Present.
Councilmember Cross,
Here.
Councilmember Heck,
Here.
Councilmember Johnson,
Here.
Councilmember Nesser,
Present.
Councilmember Suller.
Here.
You have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you. Consent agenda. As a reminder, all items in consent agenda will be approved with one motion. If a council member wishes to remove an item for further discussion, the request will be made prior to approving a consent agenda and will be moved to new business. Do I have a motion for consent agenda?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that the consent agenda be accepted as presented and that authorization be granted to the mayor to sign the agreement between the City of Apache Junction and Google Fiber Arizona LLC.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Councilmember Heck,
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser,
Yes.
Councilmember Cross,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Schroeder,
Yes.
Councilmember Suller,
Yes.
and Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Okay. Item 5 will be removed from the agenda this evening and be moved to the March 17th, 2026 meeting. Regional and intergovernment updates. Does anyone have anything from the council?
Mayor,
Yes.
just real quick, I attended both DPS funerals, the one for the pilot up in Kingman, Arizona, and the one in Gilbert, and I'm very pleased with the AJPD executive staff was there for both, and they had their honor guard there, and they actually participated, and I wanted to say thank you to the chief for that. It means a lot to the families of the fallen when we have a big showing like that, so thank you.
Okay, I have one thing, if no one else has anything.
Well, you can,
Oh, you do? Go ahead.
didn't know if you were gonna cover Dutchman Days and the parade.
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, we just got over our, what, 60?
Yep, 60
Second?
Second.
62nd Lost Dutchman Days. Rousing success, very busy there. The parade had a great turnout. It's really probably one of my favorite times of year out here. It's really great.
Yes, it is fantastic. And of course, I have had the privilege of seeing it when it was back in the very late 70s, being downtown and down here. And we've grown considerably, and it's fantastic. You just wanted to say something then?
Yeah, I just wanted to share, I got a lot of compliments of how the rodeo grounds, the improvements that we've done. A lot of people just couldn't believe it. They said, man, this looks so nice. Yeah, I mean, and I agree with them. And I know it's amazing, the transformation that's occurring. Can't wait to see more of it coming.
Yeah, I also got a lot of compliments, too. As you all may know, I sit on the Pinell County Fair Board, and it's for this March 18th to 22nd is the Pinell County Fair is ongoing. And, if you like to see, different activities for, especially 4-H or FFA, individuals that are showing their animals or showing their completion of their projects. It is something that's really neat to see and to experience. Of course, they've got the carnival rides, and I'm going to say the delicious food, fair food. Notice I cleared my throat afterwards. And of course, there's plenty highlighting activities in the agriculture and heritage is being done that days. And I encourage everybody that has the ability to go down to 512 South 11 Mile Corner Road in Casa Grande. It's fantastic.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I also would like to mention, we had our State of the City. Chip did a wonderful job. Peggy got the standing ovation. She was quite the belle of the ball there. It was really, really good, really well done. And the mayor really laid out the city from the time he started on the council till now. And it really was, it was very well done. For those of you that were able to be there, you probably would know that.
Okay. No other comments? Thank you. City Manager's report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bryant Powell, City Manager. I'll add to that, the State of the City night was such a great night. Over 200 people from the community and folks who are interested in our community came together to hear about all the great work that's gone on this last year. And that, in particular, that night was the night we were able to share some of our past. And Mayor Wilson, we were able to share a little bit of your 19 years of experience of being on the city council with the group. And just wanted to say thank you to Kayla and her team for making it happen. And then just added, of course, this is the premier event culturally and with the Lost Judgment Days rodeo and parade. We have one more photo there, Matt, of the parade. But what an experience to see us all come together and celebrate our heritage, our history, and the fun that's out there. It's just great. I had the privilege of being asked by the Chamber of Commerce to announce one of the 3 stands, and it's so neat to read those and just feel the pride that we have in our community and see everybody show up and be a part of such a wonderful, wonderful community. Just wanted to say thanks to our police department, parks department, public works department, everybody involved, all the library staff, everybody participated and jumped right on in. So that concludes my portion of this part of my report. I'll bring up Rob Whistler to do current events and also his portion of the update on legislative ADOT transportation.
Before he says that, I would just like to really mention the fact that to see Blossom Rock be so involved in both the parade, out there sponsoring at the rodeo grounds for a new development, to be that involved was just so heartwarming to see that.
I will pass that on. Thank you. That was great to see.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Rob Whistler covering current events tonight. One event to let the community know about, Saturday, March 14th. It's our annual Household Hazardous Waste Day. So if you have any used oil or tires, washer, dryer, or if you just need to come and do some shredding, from 8 a.m. to noon at our Public Works campus. It is usually a very busy thing. So if you come early and expect to wait for a bit.
And for more information, I'll just add, Rob, if residents go to www.apachejunction.az.gov and go down to the bottom of the page, there's a carousel, like a news carousel. They can get all of the do's and don'ts of what you can bring and all that on this too. So.
And that concludes the weekly report.
This one?
Yep. All right. Thanks, Matt. And Rob Whistler, Management Analyst for the City Manager's Office. I'm also here tonight to provide an update on the US 60 corridor study from Ironwood Road to Kings Ranch Road. So this study was brought up by MAG was here a few months ago, and at that time, the study limits were only down to Superstition Mountain. Well, with further discussion with MAG and the county and us, it was decided to go down and extend it to Kings Ranch Road. So now the study is Ironwood to Kings Ranch Road. Just a little history of it first. So back last year, city staff, we reached out to the American Association of Governments because we saw future traffic forecast data in 2050 and even in 2040, 2050 data, we were seeing that the US 60 was not meeting the capacity that was projected on that roadway. And so in response to our request, MAG proposed doing a corridor study, basically to outline what the future conditions of that corridor should be, what improvements need to be made on it so that it functions well. The corridor study was part of the MAG's budget last year, and the study officially kind of began in November. We've been working with MAG staff to develop an RFP to recruit a consultant to come on and actually run the study. That RFP window went out in January, and it just wrapped up a few weeks ago. And MAG staff, in conjunction with city staff as well, are reviewing these submittals and will determine which consultant will lead the study. And that will be truly the beginning of the actual study process. In terms of what to look forward to moving forward, we anticipate 2 public meetings, one at the beginning and then one towards the end of the study. And we will keep council informed as to what the progress of the study and projected results from it. Study is anticipated to conclude in early 2027. And from there, we're likely going to have recommendations in terms of future, what the highway will look like in the future. And so we will be kind of moving next from this corridor study to environmentals and final design, getting the funding for this piece, and then we'd be looking at construction beyond that. Available for any questions.
Yes,
Yes, go ahead.
I have one. Is there any chance we can get that study area pushed all the way past the Renaissance? I mean, it just seems like, Peralta Road's getting busier and busier, and Camino del, whatever it is out there.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
Camino de Real.
Mayor, Councilman Cross, we did ask about going down to Peralta Road, and then so we asked first about going down to Renaissance Festival. Unfortunately, that piece didn't work because for a corridor study, in the federal landscape of it, you have to have a definitive endpoint. It has to go to like another freeway or highway, and there's nothing at the Renaissance Festival in terms of that sort of waypoint.
Well, let's take it down to the 79.
We also asked about doing Peralta, going to Peralta. The other issue is that funding is limited, and it's a huge stretch that we have already. But MAG staff will be working, and particularly utilizing the traffic study from the Ren Festival that Pinal County previously did, and tapping in on other pieces in this area to look at solving the big issue of Renaissance Festival traffic.
Thank you.
As long as they include the Renaissance Festival period of time.
Yes.
Effect on it.
Yes, and to that point, Mayor, they will be doing traffic analysis during the Renaissance Festival. They'll be out there studying that traffic then.
Okay, any other questions for him? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, public hearings. Presentation and discussion of resolution number 2604. Jeremy.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Jeremy Johnson, the grants manager for the city. And tonight for your consideration, I have an intergovernmental agreement between the city and Gila County regarding community development block grant funding. This agreement allows us to coordinate our CDBG application cycle in partnership with Gila County to maximize funding opportunities available to the city of Apache Junction. So both Apache Junction and Gila County, we are members of the Central Arizona governments, and they administer CDBG funds for us through the Arizona Department of Housing. Under CDBG program guidelines, communities that are part of the same regional council may enter into agreements to alternate application years. This allows one jurisdiction to apply for one combined allocation in a single year rather than getting funds annually. So under this proposed agreement in fiscal year 2025, Apache Junction will be applying for CDBG funding. For fiscal year 2026, Gila County will apply for CDBG funding. So this benefits the city. It allows us to apply for a larger amount of funding. It's a stronger and more competitive application process. This does not change any of the CDBG program guidelines, and it does maintain our regional partnership with CAG. So with that, staff is recommending that the City Council approve Resolution 2604, authorizing the city to enter into the intergovernmental agreement with Gila County for the purpose of alternating CDBG allocation years. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yes.
Jeremy, we've always done this with Gila County though, haven't we, for years?
Mayor, Councilman Nesser, yes, we have. This is our third IGA with Gila County.
How long is this one to how many years?
Just two.
Just two, okay.
Yes.
Jeremy, so in fiscal year 2025, that was $156,000, is that correct?
Mayor, Councilmember Heck, that's correct.
Now, was that the combined amount, or was that just would have been our portion? So is it?
That is the combined amount,
combined amount?
yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm assuming Gila County will be getting a similar allocation this year?
Yes, for 2026. The amounts can fluctuate based on congressional allocations, but it should be around the same amount.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Okay.
This will come back for approval on the next consent
Yes.
agenda?
Yes.
Come back for approval when?
On the next council meeting on the consent
okay.
agenda.
Consent agenda.
Yeah.
Okay. So, council direction to staff. Presentation, discussion, and possible direction to staff in negotiation with ADOT. Mike.
Maybe I can kick this off, Mayor, because this is actually one that I received several of you asking me to put on the agenda, maybe Darryl Cross or someone first want to kick that off. But several of you have come to me over the last couple of weeks, hey, let's get this on for council direction staff. I think you guys have a great understanding what you want to start talking about, and we got Mike here with some backup information if you need it. Yeah.
So some of this started several months ago where I noticed issues with the timing of the light right at Old West Highway in Idaho. At the time, I was taking my wife to a eye doctor's appointment, and it took 4 lights to get through the intersection. The timing was all messed up. Traffic wasn't really bad, but the light would only stay green long enough for 3 or 4 vehicles to get through, and then bam, right back again. So I reached out to Bryant at the time, and he basically said, well, it's controlled by ADOT, we'll get right on it, but sometimes it can take 2 or 3 weeks for them to come out and do something with it. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, I was going back to the same eye doctor to pick up eyeglasses, and I kind of got jammed up in that same little bit of a traffic pattern, not quite as bad as the first time, but still. Then we had the issue of the housing projects that are on the horizon. And what we've determined is that we have no control over what happens on 88 and haven't had control since we were a city. It's all been ADOT. And reached out to city and said, hey, can you look into this as to whether or not there's a possibility that we can do an IGA with the state of Arizona and that we can actually control what happens on at least the Idaho portion of Highway 88. And so with that, that's what I did, and several of us up here have done the same thing.
Yep.
You could take it away.
Yep. So unless, yep, go.
Mayor,
Yes.
this is paramount for our city. This runs right through our downtown corridor, and we need to control State Route 88, Idaho Road, from the freeway at least up until the turn to go out to the lakes. That is our section in our downtown corridor, and we need to have control of that road. We asked the city manager a few months ago to start negotiating with ADOT to see if we could end up taking over Idaho Road. I'd like to take it all the way out to the city limits, but at least that section that goes right through our downtown area, I'd like us to own that so we can control it.
So, Your Honor, tonight's the formal opportunity for mayor and council to direct us to start using city resources to get that going. And Mike, if I could have you come up, please, if there's a map to maybe show a little bit more of the types of things that could come of this if we were to go down this direction. I have talked to the Central District Engineer, I think is his title, and they said, yep, we've done some of these with other cities and towns. You think of the other cities and towns like Country Club or other areas like that, we're growing like that. So anyway, Mike.
Mayor Wilson and Council, Mike Loggins, Public Works Director. Just a quick map here showing where 88 is located at on the map here. It's from Highway 60, Idaho Road. As you can see, it's including 5 traffic signals through downtown area here, our downtown corridor, and then all the way outside the city limits here. And we'll take a look, whatever you guys give us direction on, what portion we'd like to take over, and we can bring back and present to you different options as we go through that process. And then for your guys' decision, and ultimately, if you'd like to take over the road, and what are the costs of maintenance costs or capital costs as that to move forward with something like this. So we can bring that back as we do our research and bring it back to council here.
Mayor,
Yes.
I would like to see us take it all the way from the freeway, 60, all the way out to our city limit, out on 88, by the hitching post. So I'd like to see us, if we can, get that whole section. Let's at least see how much it costs.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
So is this diagram here, this is basically your plan, so it shows it's going all the way to the city limits. Is that the intention, to go all the way to the city limits?
That is not the intention, just showing what right-of-way is available from ADOT in the city limits currently.
We haven't got that far yet. We would need to work with you and ADOT to understand how that might
So
look.
just out of curiosity, so there are a few sections of this road that go down past the roundabout that need some attention.
Mm-hmm.
And that would fall on our plate if we did go that far with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's just say, for argument's sake, we said, okay, we'll take this on. Where the cutout up here in the northeast, the
Northeast.
yeah. There has been bouncing talk around, bringing the museum in and bringing that neighborhood into the city limits to eliminate that little cutout. If this were to move forward today, was there any sort of thing we can put in with ADOT stating that, within the next 3-5 years, if we do happen to bring that into the city limits, the road just comes with it? Or do we have to go through the process to get that little chunk of road back?
I think what we look at the presentation, talk to ADOT. I don't think there's anything, correct me if I'm wrong, Joel, is taking over that road in that in-between section as part of this, if you guys chose to do that. It's not really, we don't have to have it within inside the city limits to take over that. It would just be a legal description telling what portions that we would take over from ADOT. Is that correct, Joel?
Oops, that is correct. Also, let me just mention, Maricopa did that with, I'm sorry, it was Gilbert, right?
No, Maricopa.
Oh, Maricopa, yeah. They also got special legislation that added some money that took, that helped out that road. So that's another thing we can talk to ADOT about. And ADOT we'd ask that ADOT to assist us in that venture.
So there could be some financial incentive to take this over, as far as,
Well, I'm saying that maybe the legislature could set aside some money so that they would have it improved at the state cost. There's a possibility of doing that, because that did happen in Maricopa.
Anyone else?
One more question. Chief, how much more how many crashes happen out on that road? Do you handle any of them, or is it just DPS? Sorry, Chief.
I gotta wake up.
Wake
I'm
'em up.
just kidding. Mayor, members of council, we do take accidents on occasion. We don't, it's, you know how it is. It's, even on Idaho, technically, it's not our road, but if we wait for DPS to come out there and take it, it's gonna be hours, and we just don't want to do that to people that are in an accident. So we have taken several accidents on the 88, a couple of fatal accidents, some pretty significant accidents out there right in our city boundaries, but technically it is not our jurisdiction, that road.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
You bet.
I would actually like to see us at least extend through the roundabout, but let ADOT know that we're interested in all the way out. Because we're going to be taking on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 traffic signals that we'll be maintaining and paying for, correct?
That is correct.
And through the roundabout, you've talked about putting art in there and dressing that up. So that is going to be a focal point for visitors, that is part of AJ. So if that starts to run down, we're going to look pretty bad. If we can, and then make sure that they know if we don't do it now, that we're looking at it to go all the way out. Because I'd rather see ADOT actually fix the road first on 88, because as Robert has said, there is a lot of maintenance issues right now on 88 between that roundabout and Lost Dutchman. Quite a bit needs.
Shoulder work.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd rather them pay for that.
I'd like to see ADOT be responsible for putting in some kind of, maybe another roundabout at Lost Dutchman.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we had the plan to the roundabout and then the plan to go all the way and see what we have.
Yeah, look at it as a two-part stage, but don't let them know too much about that long stretch until maybe after they put in the roundabout, because I did hear that there was some talk about that. I don't want to pay for it.
take care of what.
They know now!
Yeah, well, they're not listening to us now.
So we seek your direction. That's really it. And the way we can get going on some of these questions, and we appreciate the input.
I got a question.
Okay.
Let's just say, hey, we're just gonna go for the whole kick and caboodle. Let's just, and let's say Lost Dutchman, that's a dangerous intersection. Are we in a position to address that? I mean, or is that something you'd have to budget years from now? If like we said, hey, we need a roundabout there, or hey, we need a light there or something. I mean, are we in a position to say that if we had to address this within the next 6 to 12 months after it became in our possession, would we be able to?
We are not in,
We're not in that position.
I would recommend that we really look at anything north and east of the roundabout very, very carefully.
Okay.
Just my opinion right now, I think that looks like more of a rural state route. We haven't talked to them about that. That's what tonight is, to get a chance to go talk to them, and we could ask them how much they would, what Joel was talking about, put up. Maybe they would do that as an incentive. Maybe there is some avenue there to see what we can get.
Yeah, if we're like, hey, do
Right.
this and we'll take it over from you. Maybe.
Yeah, because I think the roundabout 5 years ago, 5 million, Matt? 5.2? Today's dollars, 10? Tomorrow's dollars, 15 million. Mike,
Plus,
we got other,
state trust land going
I'd
on.
really
Plus
rather
trade- plus
spend the
purchase of
state's
land.
money. The state hasn't been helping
So
us
that-
keep our money, so I think they ought to shell out a little bit.
Would we have to purchase land for a
Yeah.
roundabout?
State
They
Yeah.
wouldn't just
They would
allow
have
that
to, yes.
Actually, it'd be a long-term, it'd be a lease, or they would purchase.
I mean, it's no different than us
Yep.
purchasing.
But the lease could be something ridiculous, like
Weeks wash.
$1.
Well, it depends on what.
Depends on the
$99 for
landowner.
100 years or something.
No, it depends on what you
Depends on the
negotiate.
landowner.
The county did that when they put in,
Oh, well, that's true.
the county did that when they put an illegal road in, off of,
Mountain
State
View.
Route 80, yes.
True.
That's an illegal road because the city does not have an IGA with the county for maintenance. But,
It's a different story,
different story, yes.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I can make a motion.
Do we do a motion on this?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
I move that direction to staff be given to initiate discussions and possible negotiations with the Arizona Department of Transportation for the potential relinquishment and transfer of jurisdiction of a portion of State Route 88, Idaho Road, to the city of Apache Junction.
Second.
Moved and seconded, roll call.
Councilmember Cross,
Yes.
Councilmember Soller,
Yes.
Councilmember Heck,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Schroeder,
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser,
Yes.
Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, we're all the way up to call the public. I'd like to remind everyone, the call of public is a courtesy and not required by law. It's a time for the public to express requests, communications, comments, and suggestions. Requests to speak forms must have been completed and handed to the city clerk before the end of the city manager's report. All issues shall be presented in a professional manner without personal attacks. Under the open meeting law, the council cannot engage in discussions on issues presented, but may respond to criticism and may direct staff to follow up with the speaker directly or place the matter on a future agenda for a council discussion. There's a 3-minute time limit for each speaker. The timing indicator is not working right now. Evie will give a verbal warning at the 2.5-minute mark, and then the final at the 3-minute to stop.
That means you, Catherine.
Okay. Catherine Meek.
2-minute warning.
Thank you.
Catherine Meek, Apache Junction, Arizona. I'm coming here tonight just to make a couple comments about some things going on at the Superstition Mountain Lost Dutchman Museum this weekend. It's come to my attention that on Saturday afternoon, we are having dinner with Dante. Michael Dante is one of the last surviving actors that was really active in the Westerns at the Apache Land Movie Ranch. We're going to have dinner with him in the Apache Land Barn, otherwise referred to as the Audie Murphy Barn. And there's 2 couples tickets left available for sale on the website. The website's address is smldm.org, Superstition Mountain Lost Dutchman Museum. Also on Sunday, we're having 2 screenings of classic movies. The first one is Cheers to Charo, which Elvis, the movie where it was a true Western, it wasn't an Elvis musical. He wore a beard and it was kind of a B-movie Western, but it was still an Elvis movie and it was still a Western. That's where the Apache Land, the chapel's steeple was blown off, and then they put it back on and rebuilt it, and the chapel is now sitting up on the grounds. The second one will be Arizona Raiders, which Michael Dante actually was in with Audie Murphy, and that one will definitely be shown in the barn. So you can kind of see, you'll be sitting in one of the movie sets that was featured in that movie. So if you're interested, come on out and visit us. Thank you.
Donna Carr.
Donna Carr, Apache Junction resident. Just to say, when you ask the city to send up a barricade on the road, it takes them a couple days. When you ask ADOT to do it, it takes them a couple months. So be prepared on waiting when it comes to ADOT. I guess I was thinking about the first meeting of last month, And I know that part of the reason that the apartments were turned down is because of the traffic problem. Now, the question I have is, if ADOT gives you the right to take over the section of road that belongs by the state right now, but the part that's in AJ, and you guys change the road, does that mean these apartments are going to come back to haunt us? That's the question I have. And if so, I hope the state doesn't do it, because I really don't want the apartments along that section of road. And one of the things looking at his map is, if you have to pay the state to take over that section of road, it sort of doesn't make sense, considering the fact that if you're going to be doing all the work on the road and they no longer have to pay to have the work done, one would think that that would benefit the state. All right, thanks.
Any comments? I will now adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Hey,